Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. As you can see from the title of the video, this is another Nail Sister dedication video to my sister I Am Biscuit. She's I Am Biscuit 7 on Instagram and she's I Am Biscuit on YouTube, but she's also on TikTok. So I will have everything about her regarding her social media linked below. Getting right into today's press-on set, she did order a custom order from me, so thank you so much. You can see that I'm showing you the difference between using a buffer and a nail file to take the shine off of my press-on nails before I apply my base coat. The buffer gets covers more surface area and one use, so I really like that. It doesn't take a lot to buff it off, but also when you use a regular nail file, it can be really harsh and it makes those lines, it's very like abrasive, and I don't like the way that a lot of the particles can get stuck in your top coat, or if you're trying to get a really smooth finish on your gel polish, it does leave a lot of those little bumps. And I just really don't care for using a nail file, but I do go in with a nail file, and for these particular press-ons, they are not flat at the edge, even with like sometimes that little pokey part that's at the end of each nail tip. And so I do go in and flatten the edges before I start with my nail design, even though I do go back in at the end of my design and I also straighten up the edge. I just think it looks a lot more crisp and I really like that. So after I get done with this part, I do go ahead and I dust off all of the tips. The thing I love about this set is that she sent me her exact sizes, and I really appreciate that, so I didn't have to do a bunch of duplicates. This was a really intensive set. Like, it gave me a lot of troubles, but we'll get into that in a little bit. I knew this nail set was going to be challenging when I chose it, which is part of the reason why I decided to do it, but I still had a lot of fun. And yeah, so after I dust all of my tips off, I do go in and wipe it with an alcohol or lint-free alcohol wipe. That way, just to get any additional particles of dust, and then you can see how clear my base coat goes on. After that, I let it dry, and then I also make sure to clean up any base coat that I get underneath the nail. And I'm going in with this color. It's called Orphyli or Orphyli. I don't even know how to pronounce it from Born Pretty, but it is a transparent jelly color. I actually go in with 3 coats of this, and I'll show you that transition here in a few minutes. But this first coat is very light, but what I love about these colors the most is that when you paint them with a matte top coat, they actually give off, similar to that picture, like a milky or an icy vibe, and I just really love that look. So this is after 1 coat, this is after 2 coats, and then this is after 3 coats, and I just think it is so gorgeous. Like, yeah, especially after this matte top coat hits it, I don't know. I just really like it. So I did go in with this Beetles gel art polish. So this is my first time using these gel liners, and I have to say that I love the consistency of these, and I have never tried any other kind of these gel polish liners. And at first, when I first tried to play around with them, they weren't really my friend. But I really wasn't going in with any intention. I was just messing around with them. Sorry if you can hear my baby in the background. But I was just messing around with them, and I really, yeah, I wasn't trying to do anything specific. But once I started working with this and doing the French line, I had so much fun with these. I mean, it was just like, they're absolutely beautiful. So I'm gonna go ahead and let you enjoy watching me paint the smile line on this nail, and then I will be back in a minute. So initially I wasn't sure if I wanted to fill in the entire tip with the gel liner, but just to keep everything consistent, I did go ahead and do that. And now you're seeing how I measure where I want to continue the smile line and how far down I wanted to go. So that was the first thing that I did different. I didn't do a deep smile line on my set. I just did a smaller smile line, which is why you saw me comparing it to my own finger. So this is where I kind of want to talk about the set and where everything kind of went wrong for me and really frustrated me. So I had these really pretty neon pigment powders, and I've really been wanting to do a neon set for a long time now. And I was like, this is the perfect opportunity. Like the second I saw that set, she sent me like 5 or 6 inspo pics that I could have used, and this is the one that just stood out to me the most. And I was like, I can finally execute this. And in the video, so Yaris Nails actually did a reel, and I was watching the reel, and I was like, okay, so she actually used acrylic powder. And I was like, look at all these gorgeous colors. I was like, you know, I don't want my set to be exactly like hers, so I'm going to do different colors together. So instead of green and yellow and pink and orange, I'm going to mix them up a little bit. I want to try pink and green and yellow and orange together instead. I think that'll be a really pretty blend. But you're going to see here in a minute like how much of a struggle that actually was for me. I did not have, like, this pigment powder gave me such a hard time. The Beetles gel liner actually did not cure with a very tacky surface, so it was kind of hard to wipe the pigment powder on it. And so this first try just wasn't really great for me. No matter how much powder I tried to use to get it to blend well, I just couldn't get it. So I was like, okay, well now it's not tacky at all. So I'm going to go in with some base coat, make it tacky again, and then I'm going to try again. Now I did love this pigment powder because it is highly pigmented and it's really pretty. And if I was just doing it all one color and I wasn't trying to do like a vertical ombre with it, it would have been fine. Also, I was trying to use this makeup sponge, and you could see that it was just like, I don't know, it almost made it wet. Like the tacky layer of the base coat kept getting stuck in there, and then it made these really dark spots. And no matter how much I tried to go over it with the pigment powder, it just was not taking. It was not giving. It was not kind at all. And then the blend itself was just awful. Like the blend itself was horrible. It looked like I just smudged a pile of whatever together. And so I decided eventually to just stick with the original colors that she had originally blended in the inspo pick. And also you'll see me switch out my pigment powders. So the other pigment powders that I changed to, they do actually glow in the dark as well. And they're also more of like an acrylic powder consistency, right? So I did this first part off camera because I was so frustrated. I actually tried doing a vertical ombre with neon gel polish as well, and that didn't work out. So I had to redo 2 more nails and my entire French line again and again. And I was so fed up, and I was like, fine, I'm going to try these pigment powders, and I have to make it work, right? So I also found this nice little brush, which made it really easy to stipple with. Like, so I just stippled in, like, easy to rub. The consistency of these, like I mentioned, was more like acrylic, these powders. So they were just so much easier to use, and I was like, thank God. Like, I finally got it to work after 4 or 5 different tries of every different type of thing that you could imagine. And so, like I mentioned, I just decided to stick with the inspo pick and do like the green and yellow and the pink and the orange, and these blended beautifully. You do see me wipe the brush off on my hand because I don't know what my baby's doing in the background. I'm sorry. But I do try to, like, you can just see how much easier these blend. They don't get like those nasty, like, heavy pigment marks in it, like looking like I don't even want to talk about it, you know, like. So I just really like these blends a lot easier, and this was just a lot more enjoyable to work with. So I will let you watch this part, and I will be back when we get to the next part. So now we're going in with the thumb and the pinky and how I did this design. Again, I got to get more practice with the gel liners and work with how thick or thin and how hard to press, how hard not to press, depending on how you want your line. And it's always hard doing curved lines with any kind of brush, but I think I really got the hang of it, and I really actually enjoyed the way that this thumb and the pinky turned out. And of course, it wasn't simple, and like I mentioned, since this Beetles gel liner does not cure with a very tacky layer, it was kind of hard to get the pigment to stick to it, but it did end up looking really cool. So the other part about these nails is that they were also sugared in the picture, and I'll pop that up here. It was this is a very intricate and detailed design, and I can only imagine how long it took the original creator to do this on someone, like on an actual person. Like, this took me a long time just to do this on press-ons. I cannot imagine doing this on an actual client, so shout out to her. And oh my goodness. But yes, after I do this, I go in, I put the pigment powders on, and then after I put the pigment powders on, then I go in with my top coat, and then before I cure the top coat over the pigment colors, then I go ahead and sugar it with this iridescent glitter that I actually thought that I was going to run out of, but thankfully I didn't. And there were just so many moving parts to this, so I'll let you go ahead and watch this part, and then after this we will go ahead and get into the bling. So now we're getting into the bling, and I finally got the chance to use my neon rhinestones that I ordered from AliExpress. So if you guys watched a few videos ago, I did have these in a short little nail haul, and I was super excited to use these. I was so happy that I finally got the chance to use these. I apologize if you can hear my AC unit running in the background. I had to step outside to finish my voiceover because my little baby was just being too much. But in this part, you'll mostly just see me laying out my bling and watch or see how I put the bling on One thing I should have done before I added all of the bling to the nails was add the big rhinestones first and cure them on so that they wouldn't keep moving, because it was harder to readjust the AB rhinestones that I use around them. The other thing that I did different from this set outside of adding different kinds of bling was adding the letter K. So I haven't been able to use the letter K in the set, and I figured since I was doing the set for an actual customer, then this is how I would incorporate that, or incorporate those into it. So you'll see that here in a little bit as well. I just really, really love how this set came together. I didn't know how I was going to do it at first, and then like I mentioned, the second I saw it, I was like, I knew what I wanted to use and what I wanted to do, but the way that it came out was just awesome. It was just so awesome. And so, but yeah, so you, like, it's just unbelievable how beautiful this set was. And I did get a message from Biscuit, and she really did enjoy these. And I'm so glad that she did. She received them within a couple of days, and she's just a really big-spirited, kind-hearted, beautiful person on the inside and out. If you have a small business, she's willing to support it. If you have a YouTube channel, she'll be there for you. It doesn't matter how big she is, how, you know, many subscribers you have. She just always shows up and shows out in her support. And so I really, really, really cannot thank her enough for ordering this set. And she has been going around and, you know, buying from small businesses or buying from people who do press-ons so she can do her own little collection. So if you're if she's interested, or if you do sell press-ons, feel free to reach out to her. And if, you know, kind of, she'll unbox them on her channel for you, all kinds of things. Like I said, she really gives credit where it's due, and I just really appreciate her for so many things, especially our little sisterhood that we have going on. So again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much, Biscuit. I really appreciate this, and I'm glad you enjoyed these press-ons. So the other cool thing, like I mentioned about this pigment powder, is that they glow in the dark, so you guys will see that later. If you're new here, hey, hi, how you doing? Feel free to subscribe. After I get done with the bling, I do go around that top part and around the edges of that of the glitter with matte top coat again, and cure that for 60 seconds. So this is how the pink and the orange look. And again, you'll see me go around with the matte top coat because the Makartt rhinestone glue, of course, it's going to cure shiny. I didn't want anything to do with that shiny look. So but yeah, this set just turned out super beautiful. I also included the way that I box my press-on sets again as well in this video. The boxes are really, really hard to bend into shape without creasing the box, and I decided to pick this bright orange, like neon, to put them on because that's kind of the color that matches the pink and orange, but it's really easy to see all of the other neon colors on this background, so that's why I chose this color. And I'll also include some glow in the dark at the end so you guys can see what that looks like when they're all charged up. So again, I'm so glad that she received these okay, and I could not wait to share this set with you guys. Thank you all so much for watching, and I love it every time you guys tune in. I appreciate all of your comments, and I hope that everyone has a great weekend. And I almost forgot one more thing. Thank you so much for being the best part of my channel, because without you guys, I would not be doing this. So from the bottom of my heart, thank everyone for the love and the support. And again, I wish you guys to have a great weekend.